Shalom. Okay, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Kakadash. Okay, double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect of the children of Israel. Okay, people of Negro, Latino, Native American, and Seminole Indian descent, Israelite foreigners who you through the curses, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, scattered amongst the four corners of the earth, and that live amongst these heathen nations, but are Israelites through their father's side that live amongst them. Okay, I was just watching the news, and Trump went ballistic, man. And I'm trying to find a video when he's actually saying it. I was watching it, words come out of this devil's mouth, period, when he said that the EU, the European Union, he said the European Union is nastier than China. You know, he is speaking on their relationships and how they deal with them as far as business partners. He said they're nastier than China, man. Oh my goodness. Let me find a video. Watch Trump say European Union is in many ways nastier than China. Okay, and I'm gonna click on this video. Fair use. And hope it don't crash, but I don't care if it does. I'll do it over.
So today Americans spend 70% more for prescription drugs than we spent in the year 2000. Think of that. Our country has the highest drug prices anywhere in the world by sometimes a factor of 5, 6, 7, 8 times. It's not like they're slightly higher. They're 6, 7, 8 times. There are even cases of 10 times higher. So that you go 10 times more expensive.
Let's just eat them all. Eat these Edomites, man. Just their greed, you know, and they can care less about prices or whatever. They're all guilty, and he's guilty of this too, man. It's just these devils ain't nothing but by nature they're just hypocrites, man. And you know, and again they balloon everything, you know, and if it's not the prices, they'll balloon charges against you. You know, you get pulled over for a speeding ticket. They'll look for it for other things, you know, that add on to it and say excessive, aggressive driving, and you know, and especially you shouldn't be doing BEs anyway, or it's just that this devil's way of just Trump. We call it. It's called trumping Trump, trumping the charges, and that's what they do. Don't be deceived by this man, his wicked talk. Ain't nothing righteous and upright about this man. And the rest of these devils, they're deceiving, man. Anyway, I didn't mean to rant, but let's continue on.
For the same drug, that's big numbers. Even though the United States is home to only 4% of the world's population, pharmaceutical companies make more than 2/3 of their profits in America. So think of that. With 4% of the population, the pharmaceutical companies make most of their money, most of their profits from America. That's not a good thing. Now, I think, by the way, I have great respect for these companies and for the people that run them. I really do. And I think they did one of the greatest jobs in history for their company, convincing people for many years that this was a fair system. And nobody really understood why, but I figured it out. For years, pharmaceutical and drug companies have said that research and development costs were what they are. For no reason whatsoever, they had to be borne by America alone. Not anymore, they don't. This means American patients were effectively subsidizing socialist healthcare systems in Germany, in all parts of the European Union. They were the toughest of all. They were nasty. And I see that with trade too. European Union is in many ways nastier than China. Okay? And we've just started with them. Oh, they'll come down a lot. You watch.
You hear that? That's that I looked up Stout and the way he's speaking, and without even thinking, or without even a care, man. And I went to the one I picked up in the etymology, what caught my eye was stout here. The oldest sense is preserved and figuratively phrased stout-hearted, having a brave. have had a sense developed towards stupid. You know, I mean, you turn against your longtime friend, ally. He's stupid, man. And there's even actual videos on YouTube where I wish I could have saved them, which I was watching yesterday or the day before yesterday, where they were literally laughing and cracking up, examining this man's policy in his in his mouth, man, and his actions and this man is really, that's that pride. He's been driven through pride, man. You got to understand, they raised this man up, to be in the position he in, and they're feeding the hell out of his ego. They pretty much made him into a godlike figure to them, that there's nothing that can stop him. That's what the people think, man. As a matter of fact, how did the brother point it out? How did he say it? He said, they've raised this devil up into a Messiah figure. So that's that stout heart that this devil, which is Daniel 7, and it says, and the 10 horns, the 10 horns, the European Union, that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn, the powers that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellow. It's just that power. It's that power, and with that power lifts up pride, man. And that's pretty much how this devil is functioning, how he's moving on. It's all on pride. It's all on pride. But Revelation 17, I don't want to go into this long, but I didn't want to make it too long. Just telling you, it's that video that just caught my eye. I was watching it live, the actual press conference. So Revelation 17 it says here, and 16, and he's starting to separate himself in Babylon from their allies. It's all beginning. And the 10 horns which thou sawest, again, the European Union, NATO, which thou sawest, but NATO is a military alliance, but the EU is a more of an economic alliance. Okay. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, this Edomite system, the beast, the Edomite system, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat. And that's where it's all headed. Well, hold up. Upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. That's why I wanted that whore burning. Whore is burning everybody. Infections after infection. A woman who sells. So I got to pause this. Phone call just came through. Hold on, let me pause. Okay, I'm back here. Okay, this is the whore, woman who sells her body for sexual use, a prostitute, a harlot who yields herself to defilement for the sake of gain. There you go. And that's the same spirit. That's the spirit that the Babylon here moves in. Any woman indulging in unlawful sexual intercourse, whether for gain or for lust. Idolatress of Babylon, Rome, the chief seat of idolatry. Okay. And that's the whore. I just want to go over the beast itself. And the beast, which is these unlawful, lawless demons, man. The Edomites, and a wild animal, wild beast, metaphor, a brutal, bestial man, savage and ferocious. And who else could that be? Who else does that fit? It fits the Edomites, the so-called white man. And they're watching. That's why you're always instructed to, to continue to watch. He said, Apostle Tahar said, continue to keep your eye on, and especially the what they labeled as the Middle East, man. Watch what's going on, and what the Levant. Watch what's going on, and watch what's going on in Europe too, because it's all falling in line. The precept, they shall hate the whore. You know, you just got to continually watch, man. Watch these things come to pass, man. And it's actually happening right before our eyes. And you heard it out that devil's mouth. You heard it out the devil's mouth. You know, they're nastier. They're nastier than than China. That's crazy, man. And like it says here, I'm gonna read it again. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and that whore is America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is the great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth, Babylon. So it's going down. It's happening, man. But, you know, it's happening slowly, but it's still happening. You know, things is falling in line. It's falling in place. Trump told Macron, EU worse than China on trade. And they made China to be an evil nation, man. They made it out to be an evil nation. But that's the spirit, though, that, you know, that he said that these Edomite nations is worse than those Moabites, man. But anyway, it's happening. It's going. A lot of things is happening, man. I can't wait till the summer, like the July months, man. You know, I can't wait to see the position of what these 2/3 is going to be in by this time. You know, and everything seemed to be timed right and perfect. You know, where, you know, you see what's going on here in Babylon. This race war, this hatred war it's being stirred up. And more fuel has been added to the fire. You know, where you see these and you know these Edomites is itching for that to happen. For like that nigga put up the video on the TikTok that talking about going out hunting these Edomites. So you see how far these niggas, these 2/3 is gone, man. And that's exactly what Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to do. He's going to give these niggas exactly what they want. You know, and in all reality, it's not what they can't envision war. They can't use a spiritual eye and see how unforgiving war is, man. And that's exactly what this place is about to get. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is timing everything perfect, man. Where this whole world is going to be in chaos. This whole world is going to be in chaos, man. It's going to be, but that's what we want. That's what we want, you know. And we're going to rejoice in that time too. You know, we're going to sit back and laugh and smile, and we're going to be, you know, that's going to be a point where it's going to be in your spirit that, oh man, we're almost there for real. And we're almost there, man. So stay prayed up and continue on watching and stay in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. So until next time, Lord willing, Shalom.